just walk in like you belong. They're so proud of themselves, so fat and satisfied. They can't imagine. That's all.
The axe forgets, but the tree remembers. That line doesn't just sound poetic, it cuts deep. This episode isn't about action or blasters. It's about something far more dangerous: mistrust, trauma, and the weight of a rebellion still learning how to stand. The Axe Forget shows us that the hardest battles aren't fought in the open, they're fought in silence, in suspicion, and in the spaces between people trying to believe in something bigger than themselves. We pick up right where episode 4 left off. Cassian, still hiding under the name Clem, has joined a small rebel group on the planet Aldani. Their mission: to steal the quarterly payroll of an entire Imperial sector. It's not just a big job, it's a massive risk. But here's what really matters in episode 5. The mission isn't the focus. The people are. From the very first scene, you feel the tension. These rebels don't trust each other, and they definitely don't trust Clem. Why would they? He just showed up. He's quiet. He doesn't share much. And worse, he's clearly better trained than the rest of them. He's not just a fighter. He's done this before. Willem, the team leader, tries to hold things together, but even she's struggling. Terriman follows orders but doesn't hide his dislike for Clem. Skeen, played with intense suspicion, straight up confronts Clem and pulls a knife on him while he's sleeping. That tells you everything. This isn't a tight-knit group. It's a group on edge, on a timeline, and under pressure. But Andor isn't rushing. It's letting us sit in the anxiety. Every conversation, every side-eye, every silence, it's all loaded. We learn that Skeen lost his brother to the Empire, drowned himself after they took everything. Suddenly, his paranoia isn't just drama, it's pain, real pain, and it makes sense. This group isn't here just to fight, they're here because they've lost too much already. What's brilliant is how the show uses this setup. Most series would be running through training montages and tactical plans. Andor does the opposite. It slows down, it lingers, it lets us feel the risk before the mission starts. Because it knows something important. The most dangerous part of a heist isn't the plan. It's the people you have to trust to carry it out. In just a few days, this team is supposed to pull off one of the boldest attacks we've seen in the Star Wars universe. But by the end of episode 5, one question still hangs heavy. Are they even ready? The Axe Forgets, it's more than just a cool title. It's a truth that runs through every scene in this episode. Think about it. The axe is the one doing the damage. It cuts, it moves on, it forgets. But the tree, the one getting cut, it never forgets. It carries the scar. And in this story, the Empire is the axe, and everyone else, they're the trees. This theme shows up in almost every character. Take Skeen, for example. He opens up to Clem about his brother. The Empire didn't just take his brother's life, it destroyed everything he believed in. His anger isn't loud, it's quiet, boiling under the surface. The Empire might have already moved on. For them, his brother is just another number. Forgotten, but Skeen remembers. He always will. That's the scar. Then there's Nemik, the young idealist of the group. He's writing a manifesto, a guide for rebellion. And it's not just about strategy, it's about ideas. He believes that the Empire's strength is built on people not noticing the slow creep of control. He talks about how easy it is to fall in line, to stop questioning. He's right. The Empire doesn't need to fight every battle, it just needs people to stop remembering what freedom feels like. Andor. Cassian is stuck between both these worlds. He's not a true believer like Nemik, and he's not filled with rage like Skeen. He's a survivor. He remembers his past, but he doesn't talk about it. The Empire hurt him too, but he's buried it. Maybe to survive, maybe to stay sharp, but you can tell the pain's still there. He just hides it better than the rest. Even outside the rebel group, the theme holds strong. We get a short but powerful glimpse of Mon Mothma. In her fancy home, surrounded by wealth and status, she's isolated. Her own daughter mocks her. Her husband doesn't support her. She's building a rebellion in secret, but in her own house, she's the one being cut down. No one sees her wounds, but they're there. This episode reminds us that rebellion doesn't start with fire and blasters. It starts with pain, with memory, with people who can't forget what was taken from them. That's the real fuel. The axe may forget what it did, but the trees, they grow back twisted, angry, and ready to fight. And that's what makes this episode powerful. It's not about what's happening on the surface. It's about what's building underneath. Trauma, trust, belief, and a quiet promise that someday the axe will hear the tree scream back. This episode doesn't have explosions or space battles, but it's still intense because trust is falling apart. And in a group like this, that's more dangerous than a TIE fighter. Every character is holding something back. Every glance feels like a question. Can I trust you? Will you get me killed? Let's start with Cassian, still going by the name Clem. He's calm, careful, and clearly more skilled than the others. He notices details: how they hold their weapons, how they sleep, who gets nervous. But while he's supposed to be one of them, you can feel his distance. He doesn't tell them the truth. He's not fighting for their cause. He's fighting to stay alive and maybe for the money. That makes him dangerous, and the others sense it. Skeen picks up on that right away. He doesn't trust Clem, and he's not hiding it. When he pulls that knife and demands answers, it's not just aggression, it's fear. Skeen has been hurt before. He lost his brother to the Empire, and now he sees betrayal around every corner. His pain makes him sharp, but also unstable. The way he watches Clem isn't just for safety, it's personal. Nemik, on the other hand, is the soul of the group. He believes in something bigger, a future without the Empire. He looks up to Clem, maybe because he wants to believe in people. His innocence makes him lovable, but you also worrying for him. In a world this brutal, idealists get crushed first. Still, his scenes give the episode heart. That quiet speech about how empires work, it hits hard. He's not just a dreamer, he's the voice of what the rebellion could be. Vellum, the leader, is holding the group together with both hands. She's trying to keep order, but you can tell she's scared. Not of the mission, but of losing control. Her leadership isn't natural, it's heavy. She trusts Clem because she has to, not because she wants to. And that doubt shows in her eyes every time someone questions him. Taramin is the strict one, the soldier. He's cold, all business, but he's also hiding something. We don't know what yet, but he's clearly carrying a story. That's how Andor builds tension. No one is simple. Everyone has a shadow behind them. Even the side characters matter. The Imperial officer working with the rebels, Lieutenant Gorn, is risking everything. Why, we don't know yet, but the look on his face when he hears the troopers mock the locals, that says a lot. He may wear the uniform, but his heart's somewhere else. These performances are quiet but full of weight. No big speeches, no action scenes. Just people in a pressure cooker, waiting to boil over, and the camera catches every small crack, the twitch in a jaw, the delay in a response, the look that lingers too long. It all adds up. By the end of episode 5, this group feels less like a team and more like a ticking time bomb. Trust isn't earned, it's fragile. And when the mission begins, the biggest danger won't be the Empire. It'll be the people standing right next to each other. What makes Andor feel so different from other Star Wars shows isn't just the characters, it's how the story is told. Episode 5 is slow. It's quiet. There are no big shootouts, no flashy chase scenes, no lightsabers. But that's exactly what makes it so powerful. The tension doesn't scream, it creeps in, scene by scene, frame by frame. The direction is sharp and controlled. Every camera angle feels like it's spying on something important. When the rebels eat together, the camera doesn't move much, it just sits with them, watching. You can feel the silence, the discomfort, the unspoken fears. That stillness builds pressure. You're just waiting for someone to snap. Then there's the use of space. The rebel camp is small, cramped, and full of shadows. It's not cozy, it's claustrophobic. That's on purpose. You feel how close everyone is, too close. Secrets don't have room to hide. Every tent flap, every glance, every awkward pause, all adds to the sense that this group is not okay. Contrast that with the wide-open landscapes of Aldani, the mountains, the river, the Imperial base in the distance. Those shots remind you how small the rebels really are. Just a handful of people trying to take down a giant. The world around them feels huge, uncaring, and full of danger. That's what rebellion looks like at the beginning. Not epic, not heroic, just risky. The sound design adds another layer. Nicholas Bertel's music doesn't overwhelm. It hums, pulses, waits. You can hear the tension in the score, the low notes that warn you something's coming. And when there's no music at all, that's when it's most effective. The silence speaks louder than any soundtrack. By the end of episode 5, you feel it. The fuse is lit. The heist is only a day away, but nothing feels ready. The team is shaky. The trust is broken, and Cassian. He might be the most dangerous piece on the board because he's still playing his own game, but that's what makes this show so good. It's not rushing. It's letting us live in the moments before everything changes. The axe may forget, but the treat this group of rebels, scarred and scared, they remember everything. And when episode 6 arriveth, axe forgets. But this episode doesn't. It remembers every scar, every silence, every doubt. And now we wait to see if these rebels will rise together or fall apart in the fire. If you've got theories, questions, or just want to scream about what's coming next, drop it in the comments. Because if this was the quiet episode, just imagine what's about to explode.